Alright, so I picked this up for 500 bucks. We've got Nissan Primera. It is an SR20DE manual, and that's the only reason I brought it. However, it isn't running at the moment, so it actually was running when I picked it up. Like, I mean, it hadn't been running for about 4 or 5 months. We cranked it for a bit, it then started, fired up. I started driving it to the gas station and I ran out of gas along the way, and then after then it hasn't ran at all. It did run for a couple of minutes. I put gas in it, and what I had to do was get a battery and put a battery in the back seat and run it straight to the fuel pump, and then it ran for a couple of minutes and then died out again. So I'm not sure what the go is. Fucking check that out. That's a good amount of moss. That's quite neat actually. So yeah, it's pretty rough. I've got the door card for it, and the seat and that is all in there. It just needs to be all put back in once I sort out this fuel issue. So I'll give it a crank now. As you can see, there is heaps of gas in it. Ignition lights are all on. Everything seems normal. Oh, no way. This was going to be one of those like diagnosing a cranking no start video. Just crank it, just crank it. So like I said, it wouldn't start for the life of it. So what I did when it had run out of fuel was I took a spare battery with me, spare car battery, to try and start this car in case it went flat. But it didn't go flat. After 5 months the battery in this thing's actually mint as. So what I did was I pulled the seat out and I pulled that plug there out, being that, get out of the way, lens cover. I pulled that cap there out, being that those are the two fattest wires, so by my theory the highest current goes through them. So that would be the fuel pump, and these thinner ones, lower resistance wire, they'll be the fuel pump sender. So I pulled that plug out, had a battery sitting right here, had a couple of wires, here's my wires actually right there, and I just probed them down into there and made the fuel pump run manually, and that got it started. But it didn't last very long, and then it died out again. I did try plugging that fuel pump back in and it still wouldn't work, and I ended up like cranking for like minutes, I mean ages, and ended up getting someone to come and tow me home. Which is a bugger because it's just started right up, like what the fuck. Maybe it just needed a break. Alright, so it's probably like 15 minutes later. I just left it sitting there idling to make sure it was all sweet, and it just conked out after idling for about 10 minutes, and now this won't even start. So fuck, I'm not sure what's going on. So I need a multimeter now, and see what sort of power we got at these fuel pump wires, which I've just bolted the cap back on because I thought it was mint. Okay, so I've taken the cap back off, unplugged the fuel pump, as you can see there. There's the fuel pump plug, fuel pump plug. Put my multimeter testers in there, got it up here. Multimeter should be on. Multimeter's not on. There we go. As I say, fucking perfect. Multimeter doesn't work. So now I don't know if I'll be able to do this while recording, but I'll turn the key on and we should see 12 volts come out of that multimeter for at least sort of a few seconds while it primes the fuel rail, you know. All right, let's turn the key on. Key is turning on now. Nothing. And I would reckon there'd be fuel there now while I'm cranking as well. Well, there should be power there now while I'm cranking. So I think there's something going on with the circuit to run the fuel pump. So what I'm going to do now is find a solid 12 volts from somewhere, run some wires to the fuel pump, chop that plug off, because it's just a shit car anyway, and I'm all about that rangy shit. Wire the plug up to some wires, feed it straight to the battery or the fuse box or fucking anywhere. Okay, so I've got that bit of extension lead running to the fuel pump. I've then got it crossing off there, so we've got an earth to that seat belt bolt, and then a positive running up here and into our fuse box. I've run it to a 20 amp fuse, Now I can hear the fuel pump turn on when I turn the key on now. I know you probably can't hear it, but I can definitely hear it. However, so, fuck, is there something else going on? Is when the power stops getting fed to the fuel pump, is it stopping power getting fed to the spark as well? I don't know. I guess I need to pull a spark plug out and crank it over and see if it sparks. But I may just leave that for now and carry on just sort of tidying up, putting it back together. Because yeah, I'm already over this fucking thing. But there's the motor. Young 2 litre twin cam. What'd you call that? No, it's not like quad throttle bodies or anything, but it's got a buzzy looking intake plenum. I guess it's just because it like sort of wraps around itself and then comes out underneath. It's already got that dirt. Alright, I've waited a while, still cranked a couple of times, still not starting. I'll show you. Battery's probably starting to run a bit flat. It should still start though. So what I'm going to do is I've picked up the rubbish and I've just stuck it all over there. The back seat's all back together though, so it looks kind of tidy, and that just needs to go to the dump at some stage. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go get some breakfast, a bit of Macca's, and swing by my shed, get my can of engine start, just so I can spray that down there. Other than that, fuck, who knows. This has got a buggered coil. I know coils do shit like this, like they heat up and then they stop going. So it's, what the fuck is that? Are you fucking kidding me? Look at that. The distributor, it's fucked. What the fuck? Could that be the problem? Probably. I'm gonna have a look at that and then come back. Alright, just used me AEG portable grinder to grind back the terminal inside there. Focus, here we go. Yeah, I'm not sure if that was the problem, but yeah, so it's now running with that fuel pump hardwired. That dizzy lead just sort of sitting there precariously, so I either need to sort of zip tie that home or glue it there or fucking something. I've got the airbox so I can get rid of the dirt, and it'll probably look a lot tidier under the bonnet with the airbox on it, even though it won't be as fun. So yeah, plans for this car is just pretty much get it running, let's clean it up and fuck, let's sell it for $500-600, you know. Although I think the clutch needs work as well. The clutch cable's not is at full adjustment, and I'll push the clutch to the floor. That's the clutch right on the floor, and I still can't get it in any. Oh yeah, there it just went in gear actually. Oh, I know it is going in gear, just not very well. It's kind of like you're not pushing the clutch all the way down. Yeah, see. You just gotta fucking send it, bruh. Send it. Alright, well, I've gone and got lunch, came back home, fired this thing up. It was sitting there idling for about 10 minutes. I thought, sweet, she's mint. Put the door card on over there and thought, shit, I'll take it for a drive. So I took it for a drive up around the corner, got just down the road, and it conked out again. So I've just pushed it all the way home. And I'm not an old guy, but I am not a fit guy. I am not fit. Zero fit. Not fit at all. So I'm about to have a fucking heart attack. Fuck. And it's not starting again. But if you watch the temperature gauge should go all the way up. Like, you know, it ran long enough for it to warm right up, you know. Here you go. Cranking, no start. So I'm not sure. And I tried that coil wire. I had it running before, and that coil wire only, shit, it doesn't even need to be near the bloody distributor. The spark jumps that far, so the coil's got a real strong spark. right up until the moment where it stops running. Alright, so I just made the camera record the gap in between there to see if there was a spark jumping across, and then cranked it over. I haven't got anyone else here with me apart from the dogs, so I had to use the camera and then watch the video back. I didn't see any spark jumping across, so I think the coil might have had it, because it seems to be running fine, like, you know, 5-10 minutes. Hello dog, hello, how are you? And then, oh, other dog, what you doing? Look at these fucking mongrels. They've made like a racetrack. Ah, you're both eggs. So, is the coil buggered? Maybe. No, I don't know. I mean, well, I presume so. I've actually got one of these motors in my shed, an SR20DE. I'm not sure if the distributor and all that's still with it, because maybe it's just a case of me changing the coil. Change the coil over and she'll be run again. I'm not sure, but I'm definitely not going to buy a coil for it, because oh fuck, I'll spend 50-60 bucks on a coil, then it won't be the coil, and I'll be out of pocket 50-60 bucks on something that I don't want to spend any money on, you know. It's just rubbish, isn't it? So I've got other things that need spending money on, such as the cold starts on Cliffy. Here's why: you should change your glow plugs regularly. Alright, so possibly that'll be the next video, me changing the glow plugs on Cliff Dog, the big red ute. But let us know in the comments down below if you've got any ideas or any theories on why the fuck that thing's only running for 5-10 minutes then shutting itself off. Later on today I might go get the coil off that other motor that I'm saying that I've got at the shed, and we'll put that on tomorrow, or maybe tonight, I don't know. I'll do it at some stage and hopefully it'll run. But I'm going to take some photos of it as it is anyway, and I'm going to throw it on Facebook. $500. Someone come take this piece of shit away. So I've waited half an hour, and I'm thinking it's probably going to start now. So it's been, yeah, like half an hour, 45 minutes since the last time it wouldn't start. And I'm guessing it'll fucking fire straight up now. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. That's fucked up. Well, I'll have a little wiggle of some plugs and shit and see if I can just find something. Alright, off camera, I just... fuck off, it was just running. Jesus Christ. I sprayed shitloads of Start Your Bastard down the throat of it, and it fucking started running. And it's already dead again. So, I'll just spray shitloads of it down the throat again. See what happens. Kind of hard to record and spray this, seeming as I've actually fucking broken the can and it's sort of a two-hand operation, but oh, come on, ether the fuck out of it. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. All the ether in the world. Right, foot hard to the floor. No, I don't know what the fuck's wrong with this piece of shit. Try that again, eh? So it's running again. It'll only run for a few minutes and then it'll turn off. Fuck knows why. Can you see the spark jumping through there? Look at that. Focus, you piece of shit. So you can see the spark jumping. So there's a pretty strong spark in there. I actually moved that lead away before with some insulated pliers, and I had like a good, I don't know, like a good inch gap, and that spark was still jumping and the motor was still running. But I feel like it's losing spark, and that's what's killing it and making the motor die. So, fuck, I don't know. Heap of junk. If I shut it off now, it'll probably start back up though. I mean, it should start back up. Don't know. Heap of shit. $500. It can be yours.